Hi, it's your boy Heaven Hollywood back on the IE Network, and this is the Heaven Hollywood Report, and let's get to it. We're going to be talking about Cardi B, Latto, The Weeknd, and of course, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, Drizzy Drake. So, we're going to start it off with Latto and Cardi B. And Latto is teasing a collaboration with Cardi B. She keeps saying "It's Given" featuring Cardi B, and then she puts the big eye emojis, saying, "Oh, she's gonna manifest it." But that's what a lot of them are saying now. They're saying, "Oh, I'm gonna manifest it," and they already have the deal done. So that way, that's another one of these, you know, not profiting, marketing schemes or whatever. You say, oh, let's act like we manifested it, and then it comes about and say, oh, that's part of influencing, and a part of getting people under your spell. Let's say, oh, if all we gotta do is manifest, she manifests that long before it happened. But in reality, the deal's probably already done. I heard that she was speaking with Latto back when Latto was on the album that she produced, from the movie that Bruise, the Bruise soundtrack from the Halle Berry movie. So I believe she was in negotiating with Latto back then. One thing about Cardi B is Cardi's always going to be ahead of the game. She's not going to wait to the last minute to negotiate and say, oh, let's do a record. She already has that in the plans. People that she want to do records with, trust me, they've already met. Some of them she's already got, a basic foundation of a record. Now, what happens is if it gets outdated or the date runs out, they'll then either update it or scrap it. So she's been in the works of doing something with Megan Thee Stallion for the longest, but they waited to see the success of WAP. Once she saw the WAP success, now she goes back to Megan. She wants to make sure at least it's number one hit material. She don't want to just put Megan on some mid record. Like that was always my issue with Drake and Jay-Z. After they did Light Up, I was pumped up. I was like, okay. And then I heard Pound Cake, and I was like, okay. But then they did a couple of records after that was mid. So that's what Cardi B does not want to do. So be on the lookout for that. I believe Cardi B and Latto will definitely come out with a collaboration, especially right now when Latto is hot. They need to get that collaboration going. Moving on to Drizzy Drake and The Weeknd and UMG. And this is what I was telling people. UMG and Republic, actually, Republic was reported as the most profitable record label this past year. Republic. Okay? Not Atlantic, not RCA. No, it was Republic. Republic is, of course, under UMG, which is Universal Music Group. Universal Music Group is ran by Lucian Grange. Republic Records is ran by the Lipton Boys, Avery and Monty. And Republic, of course, had The Weeknd and Drake and Nicki Minaj and Post Malone. So when people say, "Oh, so and so, they got a machine behind them," there is no bigger machine than Republic Records. They're under Universal. Listen to the name, Universal Music Group. So anyone under Republic should be doing well because they got the biggest budgets. They're the most profitable record company. Now, Drake. A little more context to what Drake signed. Now, on the record that he had with the Migos, I think is Having My Way, what we learned was this deal has already been worked out and done since 2021. It seems to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 million. All right, Universal only extended right away 2 acts Drake and The Weeknd. They're saying that those two can probably pull in around 50 to 60 million per album. Drake definitely. Now, this deal that he's got, they look to say in American dollars look to be in the vicinity of 400 million, and in AU looks to be in the vicinity of 562 million. All right? So the 360 up front, it all comes full circle. So what Drake is saying is, yeah, people want to ask, well, isn't he in a 360? Yes, he's in a 360, but that is what does a 360 matter if you're getting 360 up front? That's what he meant by that line. If you're putting me in a 360, I want 360 million up front, and then we'll work out the remaining 140 million over the course of the 5. I'm gonna assume it's going to be a 5-year deal or a 5-album deal, and however long it takes him to put out. I think he's only allowed to put out a certain amount of, like, he can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna go rock and put out 3 albums next year and then 2 the next year. You can't do that. So you only under a deal you can only put out music a certain amount of time. So he got the 360 up front, which I'm assuming, and then stretch out the remaining 140. Now he's got multifaceted deal. So what that means is they will get a piece of, they don't own all of his stuff, but they will get a piece of merchandising, a piece of publishing, a piece of video, audio visual, and all those other stuff. Plus they already get a piece of his Nike deal and stuff like that. But the money that he's pulling in is so major that the 360 don't even matter, because they're giving him upfront money. Drake is really just trying to get to that 500 million, right? And this is what this deal seems to be. All right, that's a $500 million, and if you look at the numbers Drake puts up, he could definitely pull that money in. Now, what I look for Drake to do, he's going to probably put out an album. He's probably due to put out an album this year. And then I believe he'll put out 2 albums next year. This also counts with singles. A mixtape would have to be a certain amount of songs and have to be a certain amount of limit. But UMG is definitely getting some Drake. Lucian Grange, I would be willing to bet he put a stipulation in, we have to get some Drake. We might get that OVO EXO collaboration, EP, or what have you. But there's going to be some Drake Weeknd music. Forget all this Weeknd and Future and Weeknd and this and Weeknd. It's going to be Drake and The Weeknd. Lucian Grange will see to it. And I'd be willing to bet that was in that contract, because they both got extended. The Weeknd is not getting the money Drake is getting. They pretty much gave Drake a blank check and asked him, "What do you need?" That's pretty much what they did with Drake. And nobody else in the music business can get that. So I just wanted to give you a little, little idea, speculation of what he's going to be looking at. About 360 up front. Not the whole 500 million. Then you got 140 stretched out. Then, of course, you look at all the other stuff he has. He has Stake.com. He has the Nike joint. You know what I mean? He's got the other brand deals that he's got. Drake is going to be he's going to definitely be a billionaire. He probably will make $1 billion this year. But I could see by next year or 2024, Drake being a billionaire. And he did it off mostly majority music, because he's not in any movies. He does executive produce. He's executive producer of Euphoria. So that is another one of the top shows. So shout out to Drizzy Drake. This next album coming up, people. I try to tell people. They try to say Drake is washed up. Oh, he put out he put out Champagne Pop. No, what's it called? What was the last album? Certified Lover Boy, and it wasn't that good. The album's almost at 3 million. It's been on the top 10 for the only two of its other albums was on the top. It was in the top 10 as long as Certified Lover Boy. And y'all want me to believe that he's fallen off just because you don't like his music? Nah. I think I'll listen to the people before I listen to you. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood for the IE Network. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.